Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Firefighters podcast, where we seek to develop, inspire, and motivate the world of the emergency services operator through a series of wide-ranging conversations. Now, before we go any further, just hit that rate, follow, or subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to. It's a key performance indicator for us and helps us reach even more people. Now, here's what we've got for you today. Okay, welcome back. This is the second installment in our Firefighter Challenge series debrief. Last time we kicked things off with the Welsh Firefighter Challenge, and the response was good, strong. Really appreciate all the love and the interest for the Welsh Firefighter Challenge. Today, we're keeping that momentum as we head south to shine a light on another incredible event in the Firefighter Challenge series, and this is the South Coast Challenge. I'm joined by two people I'm proud to call really good friends, Alan Smith and Gareth Smith. These are part of the organising team who pour their heart and energy into making this event such a powerful celebration of firefighter fitness, resilience, and community. In our conversation today, we're going to talk about what makes the South Coast Challenge so unique, from its one-of-a-kind venue to the camaraderie and teamwork created through tandem events. We highlight competitors who truly embody the spirit of the challenge, the role of community engagement and sponsorship in keeping these things alive, and the impact competitions like this have on morale, recruitment, and inspiring the next generation of firefighters. We're also going to get into some of the nuts and bolts of firefighter fitness, mental toughness, daily movement, essential exercises, recovery, and even how innovations in firefighting gear are changing the way athletes perform. You'll hear some stories of resilience growth and why events like this are about so much more than just competition. They're about celebrating the fire service all over the UK and all over the world. So whether you're thinking about stepping up to a challenge yourself, or you just want to hear what it takes to prepare, perform, and thrive in this environment and in the job we do, this episode's packed with little insights, motivation, and a big dollop of community spirit. So let's dive in there with the South Coast Challenge team, Alan Smith, Gareth Smith, and I'll see you on the other side. So, South Coast this year, for people that have never been, Alan, where was it, when was it, and how did it go?
Well, start off with it. It was a brilliant day, mate, by everyone that came along and either helping out or taking part. And it was on the 21st of June, so Midsummer's Day, and it was down in Portsmouth at the Guildhall Square, which is just an iconic square with the magnificent building of the Portsmouth Guildhall behind.
I'm going to put it out there. I think you've got the best venue. And I know people will listen to all of these from all the challenges, and I'm not saying the same thing on any of them, I promise you. I think your venue's the best venue now. British is different because it has to move. Welsh is nice near the water, but it's confined by space. Yours, in that, it's like a coliseum, isn't it? It is very nice.
Yeah. And it's got room to adapt and grow to whatever.
Mate, I want to see it. I want to see 3 and 4 lanes. That's what I want to see, because me, Alan, you'll have done some traveling as well.
Yeah,
I've done competitions. Certainly, I can think of Mush and Gladbach, where you have 4 lanes running.
All right.
Oh, mate, it's electric.
Yes.
You see 4 individual athletes, or even 3. That'd be such a game changer, wouldn't it? If you had 3 of, just imagine that. Oh man, the ups, the downs, the overtake, the undertake, the da-da-da-da-da. It's just going to be great, that would. And you've got the potential to do that. The course just lays itself out in front of you.
Yeah. Well, we're a little bit limited on width because we have to leave emergency service access.
But there was space on the course. I think we could have done it this year with the space we had available, because there was a lot of space.
Yeah, we did.
It felt spacious.
Yeah. We do lay it out with a lot of space in there.
Yeah,
I love the steps. As you say, it's like a natural amphitheatre. You can skip the Guildhall steps. You can stand where the sponsors' village was, and everything's looking down in a road. The only trick we missed was the big screen, because we got into them a little bit too late. So next year, they've promised us that they can get footage up on the screen as well for us at the end of the course. So that would be, I've
only seen that done well once, which was with the Welsh. They had it on their 2nd or 3rd year, I think. They had a good, really good big screen going, didn't they? But that's the only ones I think of. I'm surprised the British don't do it, but again, it'd be a difficult thing for them to move around and faff with.
Yeah. Right.
So, Garth, people that have never been, what's unique and different about the South Coast?
Well, I mean, the first thing is there's no force machine.
Rude.
So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
We've got a ladder pitch, which is not massively technical as long as you remember it's there. But it just kind of changes the aspect a little bit. And we've got a extremely tight slalom run, which slows the big boys and girls down a little bit and gives everyone a bit of a chance.
We've got ladders, which is TFA-esque.
Yeah, and we've got a double hose reel that absolutely double hose roll up, which absolutely.
So what was?
Breaks
I mean, Alan,
everyone.
you've done a lot of traveling with a lot of this stuff. What was the background concept of putting the? I know you won't have come up with it all yourself, but why did we choose these unique things as part of this competition? This episode is brought to you in partnership with Godiva Limited. Godiva is one of the world's leading providers of specialist equipment for emergency services market. Godiva produces a comprehensive range of fire pumps, including vehicle-mounted, portable, and their cutting-edge integrated total water flow control system, SAMFlows. I've been using Godiva my entire career as a reliable pump on the fire ground. It is such a crucial element of a successful firefighting team that you want to empower your crews with the very best, reliable, quality product. Reach out to our partners by checking the notes in the podcast. Now back to the show.
I think it was just to make a slightly different challenge. One of the things that we said is that every time you're running for a purpose.
Yes.
Rather than you're picking something, you're running with something, or you're doing something throughout the course. So. And it was the mix of elements. You know, in the TFA, you've got that double hose makeup. Now, that's my least liked thing. So no one would have ever imagined that we would have put that into our challenge.
That's great.
It does. It gives you that element. And also, if you get the first one wrong, you can redeem yourself on the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thought that we might have got a mix that gave advantage to people that were strong and tank-like, as well as the advantage to people that were really quick and as well. So each has their own element that they can show off their strengths. Yeah,
of course. We had the long carrying as well, didn't we?
Yeah. So
yes,
and again,
I like that
drums
because that is very much
meters.
firefighter-esque.
Yeah,
our job is lifting and moving stuff. For even just on a standard small incident, you're still going to do 20, 30 meters to the door or something like that. You know, let alone if you start moving across fields or up high rises with a lot of kit. It is a lot of lifting and moving. You're like at USA, Alan. You're not. We try and reduce wasted movement in the job.
And we had lots of other ideas that we sort of binned along the way because nothing was off the table. The one I really liked was the jeopardy at the end, where you had a 50 kg dummy, you had a 70 kg dummy. If you picked the 50 up, you took a 30-second penalty.
Yeah. That would have been that. I think that would have been great, you know.
That came a little bit from the Atlas thing as well. Yeah, but
it is, but it's a strategic thing. But then I get the argument that you don't get to choose the size of your dummy and all that sort of jazz that I've heard from different people.
But again, that would be a strategic decision, and that's why we put that in for the relays. We gave them, the teams had to have a little bit of thought because you had two sets, so it was strategic on which set ran with a BA set and which had the biggest advantage.
I think that thinking element of it is really, really unique, and it does really demonstrate the thought process around a fire service, because first and foremost, there are only two wearers on the truck usually, so you got two wearers and two other people doing the rest of the grunt work, and you need to balance the strengths across your team. I know we say all firefighters pass the same fitness levels and all that sort of jazz, but everybody has different strengths. Of course they do. Let's not pretend all firefighters are the same, because they're not because they're better or worse, they're just different.
Yeah.
And knowing the strengths of your team is what real success for a team looks like, isn't it?
Yes. And that was going back to that bit where parts of the course are suited for the more nimble and quick, and parts of the course are more suited for those that just pick up stuff and move.
So who do we have to really thank for some of the successes of this year? Because none of these competitions stand alone, Garth. There's been some really good sponsors and support and stuff like that. My personal frustration, and these are my words, not yours, I didn't see as much support from the organisation that's closest associated to your competition as I perhaps see in other areas of the UK. I know they do support in certain elements, but I'm hopeful that's going to maybe be a little bit more in the future.
Yeah, so we did run into some problems last year, which led us to run independently. But luckily, we are the South Coast, so when we set up the challenge, it was still under the mindset that we could move it across the coast. So, there wasn't there was some support, not as much as we would have liked, but we are hopeful that.
I think it should be. I think this is it's a massive recruitment tool. It's a massive morale tool. It's great for the community and the culture and the fire family. See everyone's kids and mums and dads and husbands and wives come into these sort of things. It's just a bit too obvious for me. I don't know why the math isn't mathing for certain services sometimes.
I think also they've never seen, or most of them never seen an event like this. They've not seen the British, they've not seen the Welsh before. Obviously, this was our very first event, and now having seen it firsthand, there seems to be an appetite to get involved and to support, because they can see, as you say, it's that was a massive win-win.
I mean, certain aspects, for instance, that our cadets, they're obviously the services cadets, and they were absolutely instrumental on the day run as well as it did. They were resetting that course probably before we were ready for the next race.
They were one of the stars. I think, to come down and get themselves involved and be so enthusiastic, and
and also 3S Fire, which is like the commercial wing of our service. Again, the course wouldn't have looked like it looked without their financial support. They really went all in for us in the equipment that we needed, that we didn't manage to beg and borrow. They really went above and beyond. Obviously, you've got the headline sponsor, MSA, the usual suspects, Hakes, etc. We had a lot of good local support. We tried to go after sponsors that could provide us something for the event, rather than asking people for money. So like, we approached the local trophy shop, we approached the local scaffolding company. We tried to keep it relevant so there was no money really changing hand. It was sponsorship for services kind of thing. So we didn't have a massive amount of money come in, but we didn't actually have a massive amount of money going out either. So it worked pretty well.
I absolutely agree. And it was great to see the attendance from so many athletes. How many total athletes did you have in the end, do you remember?
It was only 64, I think.
You mean only?
Well, because we wanted 100.
The numbers were almost perfect, because of the tandem added in as well. So,
and this is the thing, there's more for athletes to do in this sort of competition. They can compete 2 or 3 times if they want to, which is a real uniqueness.
And I think if you come down, that's a real bonus as well, because if you come down and you run for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's a long way to come for the 3 minutes, and then you've got the social gathering and everything with it. But if you can run for 3 minutes and then a bit later you've got another race coming, and then if you've got like the relay race at the end, you can get 3 runs in a day, but you come down and actually had a really competing.
That's a consideration we're taking for next year, is actually to keep the registration smaller, around the same as what it was last year, kind of cap it at about 70, and then maximize the events per athlete and still have a nice early finish, which is also important, especially if you're traveling home or want to get to the pub.
Big travel. No, it is a factor of support, because you're a long way away. You're a long way away for a lot of the people across the UK. I'm lucky that my partner sort of has property nearby, and I've been to the area before. It is very lovely. And I got to sleep next to Alan, which is always an experience, sometimes good, sometimes traumatic. But no, we've got opportunity to spend time with this good lady as well. Let's look at some of the competitors that we saw onto the course this year. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Gore-Tex Professional Fabrics. Now, we all know the working environment of a firefighter is filled with challenges. We face serious risks on the job, such as heat exhaustion, burns, physical and mental stress, and we frequently come into contact with high levels of toxic chemicals. Now, I have been wearing Gore-Tex for nearly 2 decades on the front line, working in hostile environments, tackling challenging incidents from firefighting to water incidents, and in urban search and rescue environments. Gore-Tex have a well-earned reputation for protecting professionals in the fire and emergency services through their family of highly innovative, waterproof, breathable moisture barriers that exceeds global performance standards and are trusted worldwide. Gore-Tex, going further together. Who were one or two people that really stood out to you, either in their character, their mannerisms, their performance? What were some of the hidden heroes and also maybe some of the top performers?
Well, so we had the two Spirit of the Challenge winners. So that's probably the best place to start with. So we had a lad from Dorset and Wiltshire, Leighton, who had an absolute mare at Wales at Swansea a couple of weeks earlier. He was basically taken off the course, helped off the course, and then he's come back 2 weeks later and absolutely smashed our course, not put off at all, not deterred, ran in a relay, ran in a tandem. So he was our first winner.
He did really well.
For me, that's kind of the mentality.
That is showing what we regard as the spirit of these competitions. It's people come along and they know they're not probably going to get on a podium, but they're there to show what they can do, and they're there to challenge themselves. And the people that will step on that course to do that, challenge themselves, and to show their own worth, those are the winners for me. I've always said that if you put yourself on that start line, you've won straight away, and you have the respect of everyone there, because we'll know what it's like to put yourself out, have a go. And he just did on the Welsh. He just did what so many of us do, got overexcited. Once you blame yourself out,
it's easily done.
It shows the physicality of that event, that you can wipe yourself out in 3 minutes to a point where you can't move. And that's a learning process as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's rough when you're out there by yourself. So Ed Leighton, who else do we have?
And then the other winner was Rowena from Norfolk, yeah. So
Rowena Owen.
I mean, she's just like the nicest person. And she came all the way from Norfolk. She'd never been to a challenge before. She rocked up on her own, like completely enthusiastic. No one there from her service. I don't think anyone else in her service even does challenges.
Losers.
And again, she had a really great run. And for me, like the way she documents it online, like trying to encourage people, showing them her training and what she's putting herself through.
You did the tandem with her, didn't you, Al?
So that was the other.
Yeah, because I got in touch with her, because I say knew she would come down. The guy I was going to do it with, Ross, unfortunately, he just had his eye operations, similar to what I had done last year as well. So he had his lenses done, and you can't do anything for a couple of weeks. And so our sort of 130-year-old tandem team.
Hey, don't say it like that. You beat Garth and Kaylee, didn't you? Just saying. Doesn't matter. Hey, now.
That wasn't hard.
Well, let's say so when Ross dropped out, and I knew Ro was coming, and I also knew that she was on her own, I got a message and said, "Look, do you fancy doing it? Because I'm well up for it." So that was great, because then she was had a contact down here as well to come down, and and just an easy entry into the world of the whole community. Because once you meet one, you meet everyone, don't you? So
yeah,
it was really good.
Let's get into that community. So we saw Detty on the course again this year. She has just come through strength and strength through her performances, and she's certainly rising in my sort of character and values and heart of the competition. Not to mention she's a top performer as well. She was the fastest female, wasn't she, in the 18 to 34s? She absolutely smashed it. She's just a great character as well. So she's a bright light on the course.
She appeared at Swansea, didn't she, at the Welsh? I think that was the first time anyone had seen her. And then obviously we were just a couple of weeks after that, weren't we? But again, just a really lovely person. She turned up at Swansea not knowing anyone, introduced herself to everyone, like full of chat. I mean, that's just true to the challenge environment in general, isn't it? You can just stop and talk to anyone who's there, really. You'll find something to talk about, won't you? But yeah, another really humble, genuine person, I think, Detty. And she's training hard at the moment. I know that. I don't know what she's training for, but I've been seeing her videos.
She's working really hard, mate. I think she's going to go do some of the internationals as well. Do you know what I love as well? She's one of yours. Yes.
Yeah.
She's really worked hard. She gets faster every time.
Yeah. and she's actually quite new to the job as well, which is quite surprising. She's only just finished her module, so. But yeah, she's a really fit lass, and again, she comes down and trains with us at the station.
She really good friends with
she's getting
Addy
better and better,
Zandiri as well.
Hoping to get her to more events
together.
They've become friends this season. They didn't know each other.
No, mate, they seem
season,
like
but you wouldn't
sisters.
know that, would you?
Do you know what I mean? They are always. I think they lose their voices at every competition. Yeah. They're always screaming so much support for everybody on the course, and they're really, really perform well.
They met at the South Coast Challenge for the first time.
Sisterly love, just like that. And when I saw them again at the British, we tend to get a photo together every single time. And they're both just really, really lovely people. You know, they're always willing to help out. They always get on the course as volunteers if needed as well. And I really, really got a lot of respect for those girls. So, Alan, why did you sort of create this own competition only to have Simon come and beat you on the first one? That's probably not very respectful from Simon's perspective. I mean, I can understand Rob Green, you know, he's been there, done it, and he's going to show up and box it off. Bit disrespectful from Simon to come in and take first, I think, to be honest.
Oh no, you have to come and do what you can do, and that's what it's about. You know, is turn around and show them what you can do. And I mean, Daisy's on our watch, so luckily
on the watch as well. That is like double disrespect.
Yeah. He's a crew manager, so I've got to let him know.
He's the crew manager.
Like, what's this you boys are messing about at? Yeah, I'll come and have a go. I'll come and give it a crack.
I can't use the term that we use for.
No, we'll save that one for
his kind of strength, but he's got that kind of strength.
Love it.
Yeah, and it was great to have him out there, and also great to see him do so well, you know, and he
did do well, sub 3 minutes.
And that, again, is part of it because Garth has got figures, but the number of first-time competitors, that was the real win for us as well. Yeah, so half before, and that's the whole point of these regional challenges, is to introduce people to that sort of event.
Do you know one of the ones I really loved was, you know, the Bartlett brothers, Dave and Steve.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Competing airport firefighters. They were like 5 seconds apart. You know, I know them both well, and so nice.
Versus Heathrow.
Steve's on call, Hampshire as well, isn't he? Is he Hampshire as well? Yeah. Really love those
Whitney,
two.
I think
Really good. I thought you were going to take it in the 45 to 49s, but obviously Dom's been knocking about in this. That's the thing, because Dom knows I love him, but you are.
If only Garth had known what the course entailed.
I know, if only he'd have been part of setting it all up.
And and win for the ladder when he was supposed to go for the ladder.
I still blame Al, because when we practiced it in the yard, the ladder wasn't there. It was
and that's it.
There.
You sit at home doing the visualization, and if it's not what it looks like in the head.
And I was just so aware that I was in front of Dom, and I was like, right, I've got to get this dummy going.
My heart dropped when you did that.
Completely zoned out.
You really train hard.
I mean, he's an absolute monster, isn't he, Dom?
And I know how passionate you are about it as well. But Dom's a beast.
I was just going to say, that's a good thing. When you move around, there are all these people, you know, and it's everyone on their toes. There's, the number of people come in, and more people come in all the time, because, someone else that you've never even seen or heard of appears, and is involved.
Talk to me about the tandems, because that is one thing that is particularly unique about this. It is seen other places in the world, but often we just have individuals and relays, whereas the tandems, and also you have mixed tandems. For people that can't get the obviousness of that, how does it work?
Well, you get to share the course with someone else. That's the great bit about it. I mean, I love the tandems. I've done them in the other competitions, and, they're a spark, because you can go full out for the whole on there, because you've got half a course to do. But also they're a great tool for introducing someone to getting on the course. You know, they might not get on the course otherwise, because you just come and join me in the tandem. You do this and that, and they're not walking out on the course on their own. It
is a lonely place when you step out there by yourself for the first time.
It's great having the that camaraderie of a teammate with you. Because you're not going to let them down, and they're going to do everything not to let you down as well. And I say, it's such a fast course, because I would have There's some phantoms that are quicker than some relays.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what I see getting faster and faster every year is Bobby Petrov.
Yeah.
I think Bobby, I mean, obviously he ran with Amy in the mixed tandem this year, and Amy's a savage. She's awesome. I absolutely love Amy. But Bobby, I actually think, is one of the more unsung heroes of the Gloucestershire team. You know, we've got Matt. Matt's incredible. Cush is all or nothing, sacrifices his body and everything to do whatever is necessary to get it done. But Bobby, I think, is a real humble, silent assassin. Do you know what I mean? Because he's a very good athlete.
I think that's his whole persona, though, isn't it? He's all nice and sweet when you talk to him. He's like, I'll probably just try and be a couple of seconds quicker, then just goes out onto the course and absolutely rips it apart. And it's easy for him to stay in the shadows when he's got those other lads around him, innit?
But isn't there that argument, like you say, that the rising tide raises all the ships? It's that value of association, putting yourself around really high top performers. And again, I know, you know, Cush is known well to the sector and to the challenge community, but Bobby was only a second behind him. You know, this one was really tight this year. I was saying when we were I was speaking to the Welsh lot earlier, I think the girls get faster as they get a little bit older, you know. The blokes obviously get slower.
It seems that way, doesn't it? Apart from Dave Chapman.
There's a freak amongst everyone, isn't there? But the women, you look at the top performers and some of the fastest women, you know, even when we go to like the British and stuff like that, you'll see May, you'll see Helena, you'll see Rachel Smith and people like that. And they're all in their 40s. Do you know what I mean? I've not got into the bromance, science, biology, Dr. Google on any of that, but I don't know why that is. Do you see that as well?
I think they're probably more prepared to put themselves through it.
They're all possible, or it's all,
maybe.
A lot of them are capable of doing it, but when they're at that age, I think there is that thing with respect. Like, you know, my sister's only really got heavily into her fitness. Now she's edging up to 40. You know, she's doing her first marathon and a few other things. And there's probably just some of the challenges, I am generalizing, that women go through towards those ages where they just maybe have a lot more grit. I don't know, but they're a lot more just like, I'm just going to get it done. I know what needs to be done. I'm just going to get it done.
I mean, they're still phenomenal athletes in a physical sense, but I think that they've probably just got a little bit more of a better mentality to going through it and not putting the dummy down and getting it done. And I think that determination, that grit that Chrissy, Helena, etc.
Chrissy's not that old.
Possess.
Careful. Chrissy's younger. I've got you back, Chrissy. Don't worry.
But she's very established. She's
Chrissy
got a great mindset.
Is a really strong athlete. And again, silent assassin. But she's one of the ones similar to Teresa. Actually, they don't scream and shout about stuff, but they do a lot of work. You know, Chrissy does all the work with women in the fire service. She does the pink firefighter work. Teresa, I know we say, and Gloucestershire always raise a great amount of money. Teresa is a massive part of that. I'm not saying she does all the work, but she is a really inspiring human being. You'd be astonished at all of the projects that Teresa has ongoing in the messages and interactions that I have with her. She inspires me. She's one of those friends that certainly makes me a better person, but she's never screaming and shouting about it. She's just...
And she's just grabbed the bronze medal in Hungary as well, I think.
But like, she's never wanted... She's very humble. And I love that about her. You know, we need the other end of the spectrum and the screaming shouters and all that sort of stuff, and that idiot who always just wants to have the microphone all day and have the cameras on him and all that sort of jazz. You know, we need all of the weirdos in the cocktail, but those silent assassins like that, she's really incredible. Her and Amy, they're both pretty quiet, but Teresa especially, just her work capacity and the things she does, she's incredible.
Yeah, and obviously for Amy, she took the overall win.
Yeah. She's going from strength to strength, and finally starting to get recognised with some kit and some stuff like that. In fact, you got your new kit as well, didn't you, Garth? Talk to us a little around the MSA world and what kit you've recently acquired.
Yeah, so I've just received the Bristol X4, the Bristol X4 kit from MSA, and I've got to say. It's extremely comfortable. It's adjustable in so many places. I had my first one out in it in the Cheshire Virtual. Really nice bit of kit. They also gave me some Nova firefighting gloves, which are so much better for dexterity and thickness than some other.
And that's the thing for me. I think for services, I know that they struggle with finances and all that sort of stuff, but I went out and did a load more testing with the MSA kit and the Gore-Tex kit, some of their wildland firefighting gear and some of their new bunker gear, and the way that they set up the moisture barriers so that, with some of the older kit, you'd have a big thermal protection, and then it was a balance of whether they put the moisture barrier on the inside or the outside. So you put it on the inside, means you don't sweat into the thermal barrier, but you put it on the outside, it keeps the water out, but then you sweat into the thermal barrier, so you don't get that same sort of heat capacity in the structural gear. So then you get sweat on your body, your shoulders start to burn, and also because the insulation is then wet, you get out and you're still burning because everything's still hot. It doesn't cool down very fast. Whereas their new kit, it's basically got two waterproof layers, so the thermal never gets wet. So they can put less in it. Yeah, basically is the way that I understood it. So it's lighter, but the stuff that you've got in there, A, keeps the stuff out, doesn't get wet, and B, it cools down so fast. Like when I was coming out of some of the boxes, or when you get out of the flow path, or when you find that sort of safe space, the kit, you cool down so quick. And it was just a massive game changer for me when I thought about for people wearing it structurally. I was like, but I know services are struggling with price and cost and things like that. But when I was doing the hikes trials and working with them, it was like, I think it was something like, I'm going to get this number wrong. Sorry, Simon, but it's like 100 grams on your feet is something like 2 pounds on your back, and having heavy clumpy boots as well. It's massive. It was done through military studies where they would balance the difference of how much, how many more calories and how much energy people would have to burn through heavier kit. And I get places like America, they're very romantic about their big, heavy bunker gear, but it's quite impractical, really. Our stuff is much more, it's much more of a technological garment, and I think they're great. So you had it a short while now. Amy's got hers too, which is great. Obviously all the pink firefighters are with the MSA gang. You don't see many of the movers and shakers in that sector. There is a European brand that's trying to punch into the sector. We keep getting approached by them. They've done some work with Gloucestershire a lot, but
I never know how to pronounce the name, so I'm not going to.
They're all right. Sion is the company.
Yeah.
I
never know how you say
we
it.
worked with them before. I do think you shouldn't have a monopoly in any sector. Problem is, don't fix something that's not broken as well. When you've got companies like MSA that continue to innovate, and Bristol that took them on, a couple of years ago, it's a tough market. But I think competition is healthy because you want to see innovation, and competition pushes each other. Do you know what I mean? So getting back to competition. See that nice little segue there. What have been some of the innovations that you guys have had to do as you're getting a little bit older? Because Garth, I'm just going to put it out there, I'm not convinced you're still in your 20s. You could call bullshit if you want. I don't know, it's up to you, but I don't think you're as young as the dating app says you are.
Please.
But so what's I want to ask you, what 5 things you think firefighters should be focusing on to try and stay fit and healthy? So talk to me about some personal life hacks, some things that you used to believe that you no longer believe, or some things that you've changed your perspective on in the last 10 years of working. And then to give your mind a little bit of time to think, I'm going to ask you for 10 exercises, so 5 each, maximum of 10. You're only allowed to do these 10 for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, and you need to stay fit and healthy, and you need to be able to still be able to participate in these sorts of challenges. So give us the life hacks first. MSA are supporting us on today's podcast, and I chose to partner with them because I've been wearing this stuff for nearly 20 years, and they are the global leader in development, manufacture, and supply of incredible, safe products that really protect people, not just our communities out there, but also first responders, most importantly, all over the world. Get yourself over to MSA and have a look at it. The high-performance protective clothing for emergency services responders. They also partner with us on the UK Pink Firefighters. That's because we love them. The helmets with the reflective visor, the F1XF, absolutely epic helmet. And not forgetting how they improve firefighter safety through their connectivity in the connected firefighter platform. MSA are always pushing the envelope, and it's a real privilege to be able to continue to grow our partnership together. So whether it's your PPE, your bunker gear, your helmets, your SCBA, your thermal imaging, your Luna, or your portable gas detection, both of us know that this equipment needs to work. It needs to be high quality, reliable, and dependable in the moment. And that's why I use MSA, because they know what's at stake.
So my first one would be a good night's sleep, which is something that I haven't always believed in, but I'm in bed at 9
I
o'clock
have an
now.
alarm for bedtime. So that was rather than having an alarm to
Yeah.
get up, well, I still have one as well, but I have an alarm for bedtime where after this point, I should be transitioning down over the next 40 minutes to get into bed, because sleep is a secret superpower.
Yeah.
And I can feel the difference, not just physically, but cognitively. Like when I do podcasts and things like that, when I
Yeah.
haven't slept very well, it's like I'm wading through treacle. My brain just can't access information very well.
I don't set a morning alarm ever.
Much to the frustration of your managers.
I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
I'll get there when I'm ready, folks.
Well, I'm always awake an hour and a half before them, so
Like Mariah Carey, isn't it?
I'm always an hour before the managers.
What about yourself, Al? What's been a one for you?
I think it's the old, as you get older, it is use it or lose it. Yeah, such a well-known adage, isn't it? But if you're going to stop moving, then you're going to stop moving. Yeah, and you've got to push through those days where everything aches, and we all are,
And don't make good the enemy of perfect. Like for those days when everything when I feel like I need a 500 mil WD-40 as my pre-workout, I feel like I'm just going to get on the bike, which is low impact, and I'm just going to do 20, 30K or 10K.
You have to adapt on that day, because I've got down the track sometimes and started what was supposed to be my session, and it's not working. And you just adapt it. But you make sure that you do something, that you don't just stop and say, no, that's not working, so I'm not doing it. You adapt it so that you get the best that you can out of it.
So you don't stop working out because you get old because you stop working out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing something, whatever that looks like for you. Garth, what you got for number 3?
Daily movement of some sort, even on a rest day. Walking's mine. I'll walk every day, but even on my rest days, which I really struggle to take, I'll still go out and walk for 30, 40 minutes.
Have you got a dog?
No, I've got a cat.
That's a crap walk. I think getting a dog is a great life hack. I've had 3 dogs in the past. I unfortunately had to give them up during a divorce. But I found myself walking less because I don't have dogs. And it's obvious for people listening to it, but it seems harder to get up in the morning and go, I'm going to go for a 40-minute walk on my own, just in any old direction.
Yeah.
Whereas with my dog, I wanted to go somewhere interesting for him. I wanted to take him to the park. I wanted to take him to that field. I wanted to take him to the skate park so he could see all the movement and smell the different smells and all that sort of stuff. And it's they're a big imposition on life. They give you a lot of joy as well. But yeah, I find that's one of those. I mean, now you obviously have a beautiful animal. We've seen him pop up a few times. How do you ensure you get moving every day?
Well, for me, one is, Molly's not my dog. That's okay. But I do borrow my doggy. So we almost have a co-ownership that's been for years. So.
Who does Molly belong to?
So Molly belongs to a friend, Alexia, and as I say, through the COVID period, just after that, when she had to go back to work, she was almost at the point of having to, at the time it was Carly, and give her up because she couldn't manage the walks and couldn't do daycare, couldn't afford that. So, and I'd just gone on to borrow my doggy and went around.
Oh, is that actually a website?
Yeah, it's a website. Yeah, it's brilliant.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, you have all the fun of looking after a dog, walking a dog, and then you
mate, I'm seriously going to do that because me and my missus were.
So Molly's here for a sleepover tonight.
Yeah,
because they're going to a barbecue, so she'll just stay with us, and
Hey, that's great because we've done Akitas. Like my missus has had Akitas when they need end of life care, so like when they've been abandoned or whatever. But that is very much an adoption thing. So that is then your dog. And it's a big commitment, and some of those dogs have health challenges, hence why the owners have sometimes not given up on them, but like decided to not continue to be their owner. But borrow, I'm literally going to Google this now.
Well, I can have a dog because the amount of times I go away in the year, and I go away.
Well, that's the thing, since
so many holidays,
and I'm in Sri Lanka for like 3 months.
Well, I don't think that's a bad thing, mate, because, the last year I've been abroad nearly every month. And I don't apologize for it, because I always say we don't want to live longer, we want more experiences. And there's nothing wrong with how anybody wants to design their life, but a dog is a massive thing. It is a massive, massive thing. I'm just looking at it now. I know we'll get off this segue in a minute, but borrowmydoggy.com. I'm going to have a look at this afterwards. Total segue.
Yeah, so
Garth.
Molly is my zone 2 trainer. When I go out and her trot is just ideal for my sort of longer run. And we're doing about 45 minutes.
Love it.
To an hour, and then I'll drop her off, and then I'll do a faster tempo run to come back.
Of course you do. Me too. I don't do
I
that.
don't. I hate that.
Garth, wrap us up with number 5 if you've got one. If not, we'll move into our top 10.
Have a plan and stick to it.
Garbage training has been something I've been really guilty of in the past, just because I want to train today.
It's nothing worse than going to the gym and not knowing what you're going to know what you're going to do before you go down there. Make sure you get it done.
Structure stuff.
Yeah, do a training diary. I do a training diary. I print off 3 months of a diary, and I've got a rough plan that I put into it, basically with my rotas, because I have 3 hard weeks training, and then next one will be an easy, which will be half loaded, and then it will go from just normal fitness to then my strength fitness and the strength endurance, and then just purely speed at the end. And then I log that diary so I can see that I've done it, and I'm accountable for actually what I've done. And I put in when I've planned for doing 400 meters on the track, and I haven't felt like it, so I've done 100 meters because I've been sprinting and doing a longer sprint than this. But at least it's down there, and I know what I've done. And I think that helps, as you say, having a plan, sticking to it. And that's where having the goal is so important for me, having that factor.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to the British Firefighter Challenge. That is my goal. Everything.
Do you plan those annually?
Yeah, I do. I pick.
I'm rubbish at that.
I pick my peaks because I look for peaks. I can't hold at a peak. If I hold 100% fitness for more than 3 weeks, I break something desperately.
You know what, though? I don't think that's untrue of people, no matter what their age.
Yeah,
you see Olympic athletes in their 20s,
exactly
they'll do
right.
mesocycles and microcycles, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll be running in Diamond League, and they have no real interest in the results, because the interesting result is going to be in the Olympics. They'll be running the Diamond League just to monitor where they are on their training plan. And I think, if you're clever, you'll do the same thing.
Are you clever, Garth? What does your plan look like?
No. That's why I nursed an injury through the whole season.
Oh, I see that.
My plan is to get good at the first event and then try and hold my fitness throughout the rest of the season while still trying to improve and recover.
Yeah, whatever, cool.
But I am new, Pete. This is my first year. So
well, yeah, that's a good enough excuse for you. I'm a few years deep into it now, and I'm just an ongoing moron. I just cannot seem to.
What I do know is 2 weeks isn't enough to get over the first challenge before you go to the next one. That's for sure.
Do you have a you have a real download cycle, don't you? You have a really good tapering now.
Yes, yeah. I'll have 10 days tapering, and but we had this discussion, I think, on one of the things that paper isn't coming off your training; it's changing your training so that you'll just put a bounce. You're going to be arriving on the day absolutely, feeling like you're bouncing off the walls because you want to do something, and you've got springs in your legs. And if you've got that feeling, they've got it right. If you turn up and you're thinking your body's feeling a bit flat, your legs are feeling a bit dead, you've got it all wrong somewhere along there. And it's believing that process, because it is so hard. And I mean, it horrified me when we went to Saudi that time, and I saw people in the gym days before their toughest firefighter, and people practicing 100% over walls and things like that. And I'm thinking,
mate, there was people doing like PB bench presses and power cleans in the CrossFit gyms. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but it's because the temptation is to test your fitness just before you get to an event. But you don't need to test your fitness, because it's not change. Your fitness isn't going to change in the last week.
A lot of them were very young as well.
Yeah, and they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Sensible, yeah.
It is beyond a privilege to be able to bring the Firefighters podcast to you, and we are so grateful for every single person that supports, listens, shares, and follows our journey. But here's the honest truth. It takes a colossal amount of time and work to keep the podcast going. And to help us keep doing it, create more, reach more guests internationally, and make the podcast sustainable, we're asking for you to help. And to do this, we've set up a Patreon page. Now, by joining this, you'll not only support the future of the podcast, but also gain access to exclusive benefits. Now, if you've ever wanted to meet a member of the podcast, buy us a beer, buy us a coffee, and you think anything you've ever listened to on the podcast has been worth £3, that's basically what we're asking you for. By joining our Patreon community, you will get access to every single full episode archive we have ever made. Now, hundreds and hundreds of key documents that we've got in there on fire behavior, firefighter health, cancer risks, instant debriefs, and so much more. A growing collection of valuable resources to help you learn and grow. Your support in whatever way, dropping it in the WhatsApp group, sharing it on the local newsletter, whatever it is, it's incredibly valuable and we really do support it. And we need it to make it a long-lasting resource, that legacy resource we always talk about for first responders, firefighters, and everybody everywhere who's ever been interested in joining the fire service. Now, if you're already supporting something, as many people do, it's totally cool. You can still access the podcast for free and you'll always be able to access all the new episodes for free. But we're asking for your help to make this sustainable. And we want to keep growing, we want to keep sharing the insights, and we want to keep showcasing the incredible work happening in our community and our sector. So if you feel like you want to join the Patreon crew and help us make this possible, head to patreon.com/TFFPC or check the link in any episode podcast notes. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about your top 10 whilst I run down some of the top performers. So we had our mixed relays. Misfits took it for that one. Gloucestershire Gladiators in the open relays. Bobby Petrov and Amy Lennox, awesome in the mixed tandems, 222. Loved that one. At our open tandems, Gloucestershire once again, Cush and Matt Adams taking the win there. Big shout out to them. Fastest male, Matt Adams, Gloucestershire in the under 18 to 29s at 205. Simon Corbett came in second. We had James Sheehan and Ben Warren bringing up the next one. Detty Ballo, already spoken about. Yasmin Lyon in our females, 18 to 34. The opens, Lee Reese, Mid and West Wales, and Cush just nipping in there behind him. And again, Cush and Bobby, second and third there. Amy Lennox once again in the 35 plus. Rachel Smith, not often spoken about, but a really, really, really incredible athlete. Took silver in the 35 plus. Moving up, we had Dan Watson. He did very, very well in the 40 to 44s with a 2-minute 40. Also at 2 minutes and 40, but just ahead of him was Dominic Norcross, and then Garth came in second in the 45 to 49. Then we had Simon Daish, Rob Green, and Al Smith in the 50 plus. So they were some of our top runners from this year. So I want to close it out by talking about 10 movements, 10 exercises. Finance is not limited. Total utopia. You've got access to everything that is invented in the world, but you've only got 10 things you can do for the rest of your life. And we'll start with Garth. We'll go one each. Garth, what's your first thing?
Stairmaster. Love it.
Any times, distances, intervals? Is there any specific thing you do for it?
No, I mean, sometimes I just go on it for a long slog. And sometimes I'll do like 6 minutes on, 3 minutes off, because I'm training for Garda at the moment. So trying to get those 40 floors in. But yeah, what a great piece of equipment for smashing your legs and building
very
up
relevant
CV.
for firefighters. It's all quad and glute drive.
Yeah.
I prefer it to running because running is rubbish. Hurts my knees if I do more than a 5K.
Great.
So I don't enjoy it. Stairmaster, good one to kick us off with. Al, what are you having?
I'm going surfing all day.
Surfing. Yes, brother.
You're in the water.
I can't do that.
if you're surfing, a lot of it's laying around, yeah. But so it's mental health as well as it is physical.
Mental, physical, balance is incredible. Mobility, forcing your body to go in loads of directions. Relatively low impact.
Yeah, you've got core different ways you can use it, but it's
ideally need to be near the sea is the downside. But
surfing, you're 90% paddling anyway, so and that's all shoulders, back, arms, so that's core. Everything. So, but it's just quite fun with it. You don't even know that you're actually working out.
No,
but you'll get a battering in the sea because the sea is.
That's what I enjoy most on all the trips that I've been away is because I don't swim much when I'm at home, and I enjoy swimming, but it's a ball ache. You know, parking the car and getting changed and and then having to overtake Mrs. Goggins. It's going really slow, and her getting annoyed because I'm splashing her. You know, but I know I'll enjoy swimming. It's great cardio. It's difficult, and it's so good for all of your mobility. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really uses lots of tiny little stabilizing muscles you never think to use. Proper curveball surfing. Garth, what are you having?
can I have sled push and pull, or will I
No,
have
the sled
or
is the
other?
piece of kit that you want.
want
So
the
that
sled.
is what is there.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you like with it. So sled, push and pull.
Obviously, for the leg drive going forward and backwards, and just a real humbling exercise if you get the right weight on it and the right
For
setup.
knee health, it's been a massive game changer. When I snapped my patella tendon off, walking backwards on treadmills and using sleds, and you can get a really unique quad just blast that you don't get on anything else. You don't get it squatting. You get, a lactic build-up doing any kind of leg movement, but going backwards with that is a very unique burn that you get, and you work in a series of muscles that you don't really work doing anything else. So yeah, I love walking backwards with a sled. Sled push is fun. I enjoy also, and I'll allow you to include it, is attaching a rope, because you can then do a little bit of pulls in it as well, which I like.
Yeah.
Number 4, what we have now?
Where are you going to go now, Al?
We got. Well, I think he's got lots in the locker. He threw in surfing. That's how brave he was.
Anyway, you know when the next one's coming, pole vaulting.
Jesus Christ, man.
You've got to have a go at pole vaulting. It's
no, you haven't.
Number one is speed. So you're going to have to work on your speed, but it's then going to be coordination, core, technical ability. But I have so much fun. You regress to being a kid again. If you
high skill level required though.
At the top level, yeah. I mean, at the
top, that's where you go over it.
Yeah,
you need to get to the top.
I haven't got a high skill level, and I didn't start pole vaulting till I was 53 after a drunken round of putting in for the decathlon at the World Police and Fire Games, and realising I had to learn how to pole vault. So that's what got me into. But I love it for fitness. I will do twice a week pole vaulting rather than.
I can just see a recruit firefighter writing these down and then going into the gym and going, I've got pole vaulting's next on the list. Bloody surfing. Jesus Christ. Do you think they'll give us time off this afternoon to get this in? He's got paragliding in his number 6.
If we had the surf breakdown at Southsea, I'm sure we'd be doing it.
All right. Drag us back into something a little bit more achievable and realistic, Garth. What you got?
Yeah. I'm going to go with deadlift, but on the trap bar.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair shout.
It's a more comfortable lift.
Yeah, it's in your centre of gravity. It's much more sympathetic.
Yeah.
I did years and years of big, heavy barbell deadlifts, and I honestly think I regret it. As much fun as it was, when you're trying to get really, really good at that, all it does mean is weight moves weight, and you start getting into some crazy weights. My biggest deadlift's about 350 kilos. And I know that has definitely contributed to my bulging discs in my back, 1,000,000%. I just don't think. I think when you get into those kind of levels, I just don't think it's sustainable. It makes too much shit. I think if we'd have had trap bars to start with, we probably never would have bothered with the barbell. I know it's just so heavily involved in powerlifting and Olympic disciplines, but trap bar's a great shout. What you got, Al?
I'm going for sprints. Move fast. If you want to move fast, you've got to train fast. And again, that's one of the use it or lose it. You've got to be running at your max velocity at some point during the week. Fast.
How do you prep your hamstrings for that?
How do you
prep your hamstrings for that? Because a lot of people 30 plus don't sprint at all anymore.
I have a religious 20-minute warm-up routine that goes through a lot of the A skips, B skips, strides, things like that. And what I was told actually was it's not my hamstrings, it's my glutes. You've got to strengthen your glutes for your sprints, because you will get hamstring strains when your glutes aren't strong enough and your hamstring wants to take over in a sprint. And that's if you're getting lots of hamstring strains running and sprinting, it's because your glutes aren't strong enough. So you do training and get your glutes, and also fire up your glutes before you go. So I do, like bridges and things like that too.
Yeah, bridges and Supermans and stuff like that to try and
glutes fired rather than your
isometrically engage the glute and the hamstring to put that tension through them before you hit the sprint.
And then you build up. You don't go 100% straight off. You build up 80%, 90%, and you don't always go. It's those 10-meter sprints. It's those 20-meter sprints.
I was about to say, you go hard for about 4 or 5 seconds and then just gas it off into a jog.
Have long run outs. That was one of the things I wasn't doing. If you try to decelerate too quick, you'll just shoot your knees and your ankles. But when you sprint and get to max velocity, take 80 yards to slow,
really slow down. Yeah.
Just absolutely slow it down. You don't stop over another 10 yards because your back and everything else is going to take a hammering for it. But definitely move at max velocity, and that's what's going to get you faster. Yeah,
that's a very smart move. Number 7, Garth.
I'm going to go with box jumps.
Oh, plyometrics. Great shout. Box jumps.
Because much like Al said about sprinting, people do generally lose their ability to jump, don't they?
If you haven't jumped on a box since you were a kid, it's bloody scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
So,
you just can't seem to understand why your brain won't let you do it. But like building up that
Yeah.
confidence to jump onto even a 22-inch box, if you haven't done it,
then try
it's weird.
up a stair.
Yeah.
So your mind suddenly blanks it, doesn't it? But plyometrics.
Yeah.
So yeah, the box jump.
We've got 3 more to go.
Come on, Al.
Well, mine is similar to your stairmaster. I do hills.
Okay, so hill sprints.
Yeah, hill sprints, hill walks, anything that involves having a hill, it's going to stretch you. It's just such an easy tool. You can normally go and find a hill most places, but and it also gives you good mechanics. If you sprint and run uphill, it's giving you really good technical mechanics for your running because it puts you in that position straight away. And also overstriding coming down the hills. But, that works just as well. But
I'm conscious that we're talking about long-term firefighter health and competitions as well. But this is the stuff you can do for the rest of your life. So you've only got 2 more left. No one said bicep curls yet. Just throwing it out there. No one said bicep. I always told it was curls that get the girls. So I maybe got that wrong. I don't know. I've been wasting my time. You've only got 1 more, Garth, and then Alan's going to throw something like scuba diving in the mix. So use it wisely.
Yeah,
I'm concerned now.
I said that one,
So I'm going to go with a kettlebell gorilla row and hope that Al brings something in on the pressing.
Kettlebell is a great kit, and it's one of the oldest pieces of equipment, yet people are seeing it now for the last 10 years and think it's like a new variation on stuff. But kettlebell is such a healthier way of moving with weight, I think. Yeah. They're the only things I've got at the house now. So I've got kettlebells, I've got a mace, I've got a few other bits of kit left from the gyms. I've got a sled, but I've got rid of all the dumbbells and barbells, because they're just much nicer pieces of kit to move. I can just go out when I'm hanging out the washing, grab one of the kettlebells and just swing it around for 20 minutes, and how much looser it makes my shoulders and my back. And I like doing like windmills with it. You ever do that? They're really, really nice. They're bloody hard.
Al's always windmilling with something.
He is, isn't he? Don't go in the changing rooms with Big Smithy. Kettlebell. Okay. Gorilla rows. I like it.
Yeah.
Al, this is our last one.
Come on.
I think if you're going for a press, I do that shoulder press above the head with a weight. Just that shoulder movement. Just to get any movement. I mean, I'm feeling it clunk.
Would you prefer the kettlebell? Would you prefer a dumbbell? Would you prefer a barbell?
And I mean, only probably because I ain't used kettlebells enough to notice a difference. But dumbbells, and you can tell me what you want. But
I'd prefer dumbbells to barbells.
Yeah,
but I'd also prefer kettlebells to dumbbells.
Feel all the difference, can't you? When you've got
you can.
You've got to feel which one's dominant and that, and you can walk on.
I force myself to do them in like a kneeling position now. Sometimes I'll just do them, one knee up, and then I'll do a single arm dumbbell press, and just do 5 or 6 as heavy as I can go with that balance, because I think it forces so many more stabilizers into the mix.
I do that with the landmine bar, with the landmine attachment and the bar.
Yeah.
Single hand on one knee. Yeah.
It's a great shout. Stuff like that you saw the people doing 20 years ago and you thought, God, that bloke's so old. You know what I mean? But it's smart. It really is smart. And you can get away with not doing it when you're younger because you have not seen the long-term effect of what you're doing.
Yeah. But, I think that's where you need to switch a people. We had that talk, didn't we, about that pension thing.
Yeah. Fitness pension. You've got to be making those investments.
You can get away without doing it when you're younger, but you can't. That's the misnomer, is that people think they can get away without doing it when they're younger, but it's when you're younger, you need to be doing it. When you're investing in your 50s, 60s, 70s. And there's no point in not investing in it and getting to 50 and going, oh my God, I've got a lot of work to do that.
And it is so much harder to do it in reverse because everything is so much harder now. But I'm saying this like we're speaking as equals. You know, you're 25 years older than me at least, so I've really no excuse. So I am still doing it now. I think I've had to learn the lessons a little bit too early. I lived a bit too hard and fast for a decade or so. Is there anything we want to crowbar in before we wrap it up and look ahead to next competition? So when's next year going to be? Where's it going to be? When can people register? And is there any other closing thoughts?
So it's unconfirmed, but we're planning on the 20th of June.
Okay.
For 2026, back at the Portsmouth Guildhall.
Nice.
Like I say, it's unconfirmed, but that's the plan at the moment. Registration will come in line with the other regional events. So I think last time we were kind of end of April time because we released the tickets in order. So it'll probably be end of April again.
That will be a tight deadline. End of April for entrance, and then we're 20th of June go.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was last year.
Yeah, something like that. But they'll all know whether they want to come
or as soon as the Welsh sells out, whichever one happens quicker.
It's tough, isn't it? Because you want to be respectful of the other challenges.
Yeah.
But also, if I need to book leave, there's no point me trying to get it in April because I haven't had it confirmed yet. I don't know if I'm actually going. Do you know what I mean? That's a tough one. I don't know if all the challenges releasing on January 1st is fair. I don't know. And then people can pick and choose, but then you don't want nobody going to the X competition. You know, you don't want no one going to the whatever, or you don't want the Welsh or the Cleveland now, you know, not selling out because everyone's guaranteed the British. This is, I don't know. I don't know that there's any right answer. I just am conscious to be devil's advocate about short notice confirmation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the dates will be released of the competitions. It will just be a case of when the registrations open for the competitions will be at different dates.
I think people will be able to plan their calendar. The only ones you're going to be more careful is if the ones that are selling out. I mean, ours didn't, but we were
first year.
Look at that, yeah. So, I think it's a good time, and it's a good way of planning in those testers. But I say the win for us was 50%, never having done one before. Hopefully we'll get those come back, and we'll have more because we'll be able to make more noise about it because we will have visuals of what our actual course now looks like, what it looks like to run it, what it looks like in the area, what the facilities are around the area, who else comes to support it. And
I will say again, this has got the USP of bring your family. Because I took my family, we went to the beach on the same day, in fact. Kids wanted to go to the beach straight after. So we went back, quick change, out to the beach again the next day. You could pop over to the Isle of Wight if you want to. It's only a couple of quid to get the fast cat or whatever. It's more than a couple of quid. It's whatever, 20, 30 quid or something. Not so nice restaurant. So I went to a pirate-themed restaurant. Amazing food. Rapscallions. That was great.
Yeah.
Music was really cool. They had these massive cocktails. You know, the food was epic. It was lovely. Great time.
It's great. I mean, you've got the bars and restaurants around the Guildhall itself, but within walking distance of there, you've got some really good.
The beach is the USP because you don't get that at any other competition. You want to go, and if you're struggling to get your husband or your wife to justify coming, go, look, the competition is going to take 8-9 hours, and then we're going to go to the beach. You know, we're going to get a B&B or we're going to get a hotel or whatever, and it's a unique one. You know, it's really unique.
Down to the Still and West, Old Portsmouth. You know, that's...
Where did we have dinner the next day? That was beautiful. Where was that?
Portsmouth in Still and West, right on the harbour front.
That was so...
Look at the tower.
Right over, looking at the tower. And
that was really nice, that was. Felt a bit underdressed, a bit fancy, that was. It was very nice. But no. Guys, I think it's a really, really great competition. Really, really well done this year. I think the variations that you're bringing into it, the different challenges for different athletes, the tandems, the unique location that it is. Hopefully next year we'll look forward to seeing much more support from the service and the organisation and bringing all the rest of the fire family down and the community safety lot and the recruitment lot and all that sort of jazz. But this year's been a great one. Don't make progress the enemy of perfect. And I really look forward to joining you both next year.
Nice one.
See you soon.
Cheers, please.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Hope you took a lot away from that episode. We started the Firefighters podcast to develop, inspire, connect, motivate, represent, and most importantly, celebrate the world of incredible emergency services operators and the wider sector through this series of wide-ranging conversations. We really love creating this podcast and bringing it to so many people. Did you know you can also find these on YouTube? We do a lot of video podcasts now. You can head over to our YouTube page and follow, subscribe there. And as a final ask from us, whatever platform you're on, please rate the podcast. It really helps us as a key performance indicator to reach more and more people. I've been your host, Pete Wakefield. This has been the Firefighters Podcast. And wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be happy, live with intention, and where possible, please remember and support your firefighters and first responders. I'll see you next time.